Maybe not too many people are aware of this, but in the last decade or so, there has been a resurgence of interest in the idea of a world state. As Luis Cabrera has put it, prominent international relations scholars, economists and normative political theorists have begun to explore the likelihood or desirability of global political integration. Some would consider the heyday of the World Federalist movement to have been the mid-40s to the early 50s. During this period, a range of journalists, authors, political figures, jurists and scientists were calling for a world state. A state strong enough to spare us from nuclear destruction. But with the intensification of the Cold War, the heyday of world federalism quickly faded as the world was overtaken, so to speak, by a climate of fear and suspicion. But recently, discussion about the idea of the world state has been revived. Recent literature has emphasized possible empirical trends towards world government. Also, works that view world government as a means of addressing persistent global security threats have been put out there, and there are those who've been talking about world government as a means of securing core economic or political rights for many more persons. There is a review article written by Luis Cabrera of the University of Birmingham here in the United Kingdom called World Government, Renewed Debate, Persistent Challenges. Worth a read if you've got the time or the inclination. If you go on to the website idebate.org and find the This House Believes in a World Government debate, you'll find the article link in the further reading section. It's a European Journal of International Relations article. Also, of the same journal, an article by Alexander Wendt called Why a World State is Inevitable. The link to this is in the same further reading section. The title of Professor Wendt's article is deliberately provocative. I don't think it's meant as a definite prediction. The article has elicited serious thinking about the possibility of a world state. Wendt's work has been cited in numerous contributions over the years. I think it's worth pointing out that there is a strong consensus against world government among contemporary international relations professionals for one reason or another. For me, when I think of a world state, I don't think of an omnipotent world government that is able to crush all would-be opposition underfoot. Many people associate the idea of world government with the idea of a hideous global tyranny from which there is no escape. Conspiracy theorists have played their part in creating this worldview. I can envision a world state as being strong in many respects, but by no means despotic. I see it, a world state that is, as a democratic entity with separate executive, legislative and judicial branches. I see it as being quite a complex thing, involving the participation of nation-states, supranational bodies, civil society, corporations, and of course individuals. Now, on the question of whether a world state would be desirable or even possible, well, that depends critically on its institutions and policies. If people are holding up the idea of the omnipotent world state as the only alternative to the current UN, then it's no wonder that many folks are strongly opposed to the idea of world government. That's completely understandable. But it's not the only alternative. There are lots of different models out there. I think for a lot of folks, if they can just overcome their initial fear, or if they can get past their preconceived idea of the omnipotent global tyrant state, then many more people would be willing to give calm and reasonable consideration to the idea of a world state. Okay, let me finish here with a few recommendations. Please check out the site www.federalunion.org.uk. If you're unfamiliar with the concept of federalism, this site will help you out, I think. If you haven't read the book Anatomy of Peace by Emery Reeves, 1945, please take the time to do so. It's an oldie, but a goodie. Well written, good stuff. You can read the whole thing online, PDF. It's not difficult to find. And finally, please go and vote in the global referendum on world democracy by visiting voteworldparliament.org. If the referendum were to go viral, well, it could create an unstoppable mandate, leading to a world state and a true world order, potentially. Anyway, catch you later, folks. Take it easy.